Hello once again, welcome to Miriam's Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful crossbody back here. So this is a very simple and nice piece, and we're going to be using the camel stitch. This one, it looks like knit stitch. So here we have a button, okay, and this is the bottom of the bag. Okay, so this is our piece that we're going to crochet. If you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscription button below. So let's see what we're going to need for us to crochet this piece. So here you're going to need macrame cord. This is 4mm thick macrame cord. However, you can use any other type of yarn that you have. Just make sure that it is a bit thick and you use a corresponding crochet hook. And for this one, I used a 6mm crochet hook. You're also going to need stitch markers, 7 of them, a tapestry needle, a button. This is a 20mm in diameter button. You're also going to need a scissors, a sewing thread, a needle to attach the button to the back. So let's begin. We're going to begin with a chain of 12. So if you want your bag to be bigger, you just increase the number of chains here at the beginning. So you first of all make a slip knot, okay. Okay, so this is my slip knot. So I'm going to begin my chain. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 chains now. I'm going to increase them up to 12. So I have 12 chains now, okay. So this is your chains. If you turn them, you'll find that we have these back bumps, okay, these ones. So we want to insert our hook in these back bumps and crochet single crochet. So here at the first, I'm going to skip this one, and then I'm going to set into the next one, this one, okay. So this is my hook. I'm going to insert here, and then I'm going to grab my yarn, pull through, yarn over again, and then pull through. So this is my first single crochet, okay, this one. So I'm going to put a stitch marker. So I find that I have 6 of the same color, and then this one. So this one is going to be marking the starting point up until we finish the back, okay. So in the next chain, I'm going to put 1 single crochet. So insert in the back bump, pull through, yarn over, and then pull through, okay. Again here, insert, pull through, yarn over, then pull through, okay. So I now have 3 single crochets, okay. So I'm going to continue inserting my hook in the back bumps, these ones, okay, up until we're in the last one here. Okay, so here I'm left with this last one, okay. So in this last one, this back bump, I'm going to put 5 single crochets. So here's how we're going to do it, okay. So you insert here, 1, okay. We also want to mark some stitches there. Again, in the same space, insert my hook, 2. So I'm going to mark the second one, okay. In the same space again, that's 3, and then we mark it again, okay. This one I'm going to mark it, okay. So you find that we'll be curving as we crochet into that chain. So again, in the same space, this is the 4th, okay. This one I'm going to mark it. So we're marking 3 stitches here, and then the 5th one in the same space, like this, okay. So you find that we started here and then we have curved. So we are now crocheting at the back of the chains, okay. So because we're inserting our hook in the back bumps, you'll find that the back of the chains we have stitches like, okay, this one's. So let's continue. So here I have 5. I'll move on into the next one. So here we have this stitch, so I'm going to insert just below those 2 loops like this. Okay, so if you want, you can fasten, hide this as you crochet, okay, the end, and then make a single crochet like this. So in the following, you have 2 loops, this one and this one, so you insert below and make 1 single crochet. Okay, and the next, okay, so I'm going to continue, okay, setting my hook below these 2 loops up until I'm in the last one here. So here we're left with the first one, this one, okay, which is the back of the chain of the first stitch. So here we're going to put 4 single crochets. Okay, remember here we put 5, so here we're going to put 4 because we're also assuming that this first one is coming from the same point to make them 5. So you insert there and then you put 4 single crochets. Okay, so that's 1. So you might need to adjust them so that they all fit. And then 2. So we're going to mark 3 of these. Okay, so the second one I'm going to put a stitch marker, and then the third I'm going to mark it again, this one, and then the last one, the fourth. This one. Okay, so here we have the first stitch and then the last stitch of the round. Okay, so here this is my first round. So I have 7 marked stitches, 3 here, 3 here, and then this one. Okay, so let's move on to the next round. So in the next round we're going to be increasing the number of our stitches, and also we're going to be inserting our hook in the back bumps or the third loop, this one. Okay, so we want to crochet what is called the camel stitch. So for the camel stitch, you insert your hook here. Okay, so this is your stitch here, okay, with these 2 loops, the single crochet, but you're going to turn it. Okay, so these are the third loops that we want to insert our hook into. Okay, so I'm going to come here into the first one, this one, grab your yarn, and then you work a normal single crochet, yarn over. Okay, I think you might also want to make it a bit loose, okay, so that it's not difficult for you to insert your hook in the third loop in the following round. So this is my first stitch, and then in the next one, okay, here, and then grab your yarn, work a single crochet. Okay, in the next, here, work a single crochet. Okay, in the next, here, single crochet. Okay, so it should come out something like this. So I'm going to continue. Let's meet towards the stitch marker here. Okay, so now I'm at the stitch with the that is marked. Okay, so I'm going to turn, okay, this one, the third loops of these stitches. So I'm going to be putting 2 stitches in each of these marked stitches, okay, so that we increase the number of stitches of our base. So here I'm going to insert and put 2 single crochets. That's 1. Okay, because we still want to increase the number of stitches, I'm going to put back the stitch marker so that we increase again in the next round in that stitch. So again, in the same space, another single crochet. So we've increased with 1 stitch, this one. So I move on to the next one and repeat. So here, 1 single crochet. I'm going to put back the stitch marker so that we increase again in the next round in the same stitch, and then in the same stitch again I'm going to put another single crochet like this. Okay, move on to the next one and repeat again. One single crochet, and then we put back the stitch marker and then put another one. So here you'll find that we've increased our stitches with 3. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. So here I'm going to continue inserting my hook in the 3rd loop, this one, up until I'm at this point again and increase. So don't worry about this tail, you can fasten it off later on. So let's continue. So make sure that the stitches are not too tight so that it won't be difficult for you to insert your hook in the 3rd loop. Then here, okay, so I'm going to continue. Let's meet here. So here again, we're now at the stitches, so we're going to repeat what we did here on the stitches. So you move a stitch marker and then you put 2 single crochets in each. Right, there's still one more stitch here. Okay, so this one we're going to increase in this one. Okay, remember we're inserting our hook in the back in the 3rd loop, this one. Put back the stitch marker, again put another stitch in there in the same space. Okay, we repeat again here. One, in the same stitch, 2. Okay, so now we're in the last stitch, this one, this one. Okay, 1, put back the stitch marker, and then 2. Okay, so this is the first stitch, so that means we've completed the 2nd round. Okay, so it should come out like this. Okay, so here we're going to continue and do one more round for the base, that is the 3rd round. And here you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each of the following stitches. Okay, this is marking the starting point, so let's just work in here. So 1 single crochet in here. Remember to put back the stitch marker, and then you're going to continue setting your hook in the 3rd loops, these ones. Okay, and then when you reach this stitch you put 2. Okay, and then each stitch that doesn't have a stitch marker you only put 1. Like this one you put 1, and then this one that is marked you put 2, as well as this one and this one's here. So let's meet back here at the starting point. So just repeat the 2nd round and crochet the 3rd round. Welcome back. So I've just completed the 3rd round. Okay, so this is the 1st, the 2nd, and then the 3rd. Okay, so I'm going to remove these 6 stitch markers and remain with this one. So next we're going to start working on the sides of the back. So we're just going to continue with the camel stitch. So here, this is the 1st stitch, so always remember to put back the stitch marker to mark the starting point. Okay, so here we're going to be inserting in the 3rd loop, just like we were doing. Okay, grab your yarn, pull through, and then work 1 single crochet like this. Okay, so we're going to repeat that right round, just putting 1 stitch in each. Okay, 1 stitch in the back loop, in the 3rd loop. Okay, up until we're back at the starting point, and you're going to do that for the next 14 rounds and then come back. Okay, so you're just putting one stitch, okay, or one single crochet, inserting your hook in the third loops. So let's do that and then come back. So welcome back. So I've done 14 rounds of the sides. So if you had made your bag a bit bigger at the beginning, you can keep on adding more rounds. So now we want to do the last round and then we crochet the lid or the cover of the bag. So the last round is going to be slip stitch. Okay, so we're just going to be inserting our hook in the third loop like we were doing before. Okay, so here, this one I'm going to insert here, and then we're going to work a slip stitch. So for a slip stitch, you grab your yarn and then you pull through again. Okay, you only grab your yarn once, so put back the stitch marker here, and then in the next we're going to work a slip stitch like that. Okay, in the next slip stitch like this. Okay, so let's do that right round. Let's meet towards here. Okay, just after the edge, let's meet here. Welcome back. So I'm almost at the end. This is the starting point. So here I want us to start crocheting the cover of the bag. So we want it to be some point here just before the edge. So here, and then again some point here. So in this stitch I'm going to put a stitch marker in this stitch. Okay, this is going to be the starting point of my cover. Okay, so I'm going to continue with slip stitch in the third loop. Okay, in the remaining stitches. Okay, like that. Okay, so here we are now back at the starting point. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker. We no longer need it. And then I'm no longer inserting my hook in the third loop. Okay, I'm going to come at the top of the stitches and then I'm going to insert into the back loop. Okay, I'm going to be inserting in the back loop only. Okay, and we crochet slip stitch. So going to continue with slip stitch. So we have the front and the back loop. Okay, the front, the back loop. So here, insert here, and then you work slip stitch. Continue again, slip stitch. So we're now crocheting the lid or the cover of the bag. Okay, so here we're now towards the edge. Remember, we want it to be this point to be almost the same as this point this side. Okay, so let's put one more stitch here in here. Okay, so this is going to be our lead here. Okay, so next I'm going to chain 1 and then 10. Okay, like this. And then if you let your stitches face you, again we're going to be inserting in the back loop. So this chain 1 that we did here does not count as a stitch, so I'm going to come here, the front, the back loop. So insert in the back loop. Okay, and then you work slip stitch. Okay, front, back loop, slip stitch. Okay, the front, the back loop, slip stitch. Okay, so here, front, back loop, slip stitch, like this. Okay, so I'm going to continue up until I'm in the stitch. Okay, you can see this is the cover of the bag. So here in the stitch marker here, I'm going to remove it and we no longer need it. And then I'm going to put one slip stitch in the back loop of that, like this. I'm going to chain 1. So next again, I'm going to repeat one slip stitch in the back loop. So again, in the back loop, one slip stitch in the following, one slip stitch in the next, one slip stitch, like this. Okay, So you can see that we are increasing the height of the cover, this one. So going to go on to this point, you chain 1 and then you 10, come back this point, chain 1 and then you 10. So you repeat that, putting 1 slip stitch in the back loop of each stitch up until your cover is somewhere here. You overlap it and then it's somewhere, the height of it is somewhere here. Okay, so let's do that and then come back. Welcome back. So here, this is the cover and I've crocheted 14 rows. Okay, and if you want to increase the height of your cover, you just keep on adding the rows. So here we now want to put a buttonhole. Okay, so at the top here I have 17 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to count and we're going to put a buttonhole in the middle here. So if we divide 17 by 2, we get 8.5. So our buttonhole should be in the 9th stitch. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to put in the 9th and the 10th here. So I'm just going to mark it. Okay, this is where we're going to put a buttonhole. Okay, so let's continue. So again, I chain 1 at the end and then you 10. And then in the back loop, slip stitch. Here I'm going to skip this stitch as well as this one, and then I'm going to chain 3. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. And then I'm going to skip these 2 stitches, including the one that is marked, and then I'm going to come in here, and then I continue with slip stitch. Okay, in the back loop. Okay, so again let's do another row, chain 1 and then 10. Okay, so here you're going to continue with slip stitch on top of the chains. Okay, so in each chain here, 1 slip stitch, next, and then in like this. Okay, okay, so here at the end I'm going to leave a tail to fasten off. Then I'm going to pull. So now let's work on the handle. So for handle, leave a tail of about 30 centimeters. Okay, then you're going to come here. So you're going to chain 2, make a slip knot. Okay, chain 2, 1, and then 2. Okay, so if these are your chains, if you turn them, they have the back bumps. So going to yarn over, insert into the second bump. We have this first, this is the second. So insert here, grab your yarn, pull through to have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then pull through. Okay, again you chain 2, 1, and then 2. Okay, yarn over, you go here to the second bump, this one, grab your yarn, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, then pull through, chain 2 again, 2, yarn over, go into the second bump, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, so this is going to be our handle. So I'm going to repeat this up until I have a handle that is about 1 meter long, and then come back. So this is my handle. Okay, so here at the end I'm going to, and then pull it through, leave a tail again, okay, so you should have 2 tails, one at the other end and one at the other end. So we're going to insert this into a tapestry needle, and then we're going to join onto our bag. Okay, so make sure that when you join, your handle is not twisted. Okay, so here, if you lay your bag flat, we have 2 edges, okay, this point and this point. So I'm going to put my handle here and my other handle here, so you can mark if you want. So my handle is going to come here, and then the other side is going to come over there. So I'm going to come, make sure that your handle is not twisted, and we're going to join our handle. Okay, so I've joined this one. I'm going to come and join the other side. Okay, and then you're going to join it here. Okay, just find somewhere to insert your hook as you join here, and then come back. Okay, so our handle is now in place. So next we want to put a button, this one. So what you do is nicely close your bag like this, and then here. So I'm going to attach my button here using a sewing thread, a needle, and then come back. So this is my button, and you can put up here like this. This is the back side. And this is the bottom. This is our handle. So this is our crossbody bag. If you like the tutorial, please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe and comment down below. Thank you.